January 16th aired episode 15 of Yashahime, which revealed Rin as SessRin's wife, but as most of us know, there has been a lot of evidence that led up to this moment. Rumiko Takahashi is close to the staff of InuYasha. The voice actor's statements and interviews hold much weight as evidence. When deciding the ending for the final act, Rumiko Takahashi was at a loss when it came to Kagome's decision, so she went to Kagome herself, the voice actor, Satsuki Yukino, and asked, "Which would you pick?" To which Satsuki Yukino immediately answered with, "I want to be with InuYasha." That is how it was decided, as it made sense to Rumiko with Satsuki's answer. One in particular that I was interested in was an interview with Rin's voice actor, Mamiko Noto, which took place during the broadcast of the final act. A few pictures of the interview was floating around online, and one part that was most talked about was that Mamiko Noto made a comment that if Rin were to become an adult, that it would be beautiful for her to fall in love with SessRin. Both Ken Narita, voice of SessRin, and Mamiko Noto have given their thoughts on SessRin and Rin being a couple multiple times. It was a magazine called Animage from 2010. Animage is only released in Japan. I did some digging online such as eBay and Japan proxy sites for buying overseas. Considering there's 12 months in a year, I had to narrow it down. I checked the front and backs of the magazines for InuYasha and I found a couple that may have been the one online. However, I wanted to be sure, so I went to Twitter user Yurio995, who previously posted about the article before, to which she answered that the pictures she posted weren't hers, but she believes that it was from the months of February or March, which in the list of months of Animage I was looking at did in fact contain InuYasha. Also, considering that it could be likely it was done around Valentine's Day, which is February for the United States and White Day in March for Japan, so I purchased both to ensure I would get it. Upon receiving it, the one with Mamiko Noto was February. It contained interviews with three of the voice actors, Narita, Mamiko Noto, and Cho, SessRin, Rin, and Joken. I went to my friends Eri and Ayuria, who both translated this for everyone to see. In this audiobook, Ken Narita and Cho will be voiced by me. Mamiko Noto will be voiced by none other than Rin Bartlett. Please enjoy. InuYasha translation by Ayuria. Animage magazine, February 2010. Brothers with the same father, a full-fledged demon and half-demon, but the two resemble each other somehow. While they both have the same father, there's a big difference in ability and thought process towards humans between Sesshomaru, a full-fledged demon, and InuYasha, a half-demon with a human mother. InuYasha previously loved Kikyo and desperately protects Kagome. Sesshomaru, on the other hand, had no interest in humans. However, Rin's existence has brought about change within his heart. Just as his mother said, did Sesshomaru perhaps inherit his attachment to humans from his father? The role of Sesshomaru, Narita Ken. Episode 15, The Rightful Successor, depicts a fierce battle with InuYasha. What were your thoughts when you enacted that episode? Narita: I felt very tense through the whole thing, and it was as though the content was reminding me of the movie. Sesshomaru says to InuYasha, "Show me, InuYasha, proof that you are Tesaiga's successor, and not I," and commences battle with him. Narita-san, how do you comprehend his feelings towards his father regarding Tenseiga and his anger towards InuYasha? Narita: I believe all of it is hatred. Only one with power should have a perfect sword. I think that natural thought is the sole source of his anger towards InuYasha. In episode 15, do you think Sesshomaru was truly trying to kill InuYasha, or was he merely testing him? Narita: I believe it was both. Those without power die. There is no love or sympathy in that. In a previous conversation with Yamaguchi-san, he stated that InuYasha and Sesshomaru are jealous of each other, having acted in the final act up to the midway point. How do you once again perceive Sesshomaru's relationship to InuYasha? Narita: I think there was jealousy at the beginning. However, now, it's not something that petty, but rather who's stronger. I think it's this single point. Sesshomaru relinquishes Meadow Zangetsu. What do you think this will bring about for him? Narita: growth, more strength. I would like to ask regarding the two in Sesshomaru's team, what sort of feelings do you think Sesshomaru has for Rin? Narita, a part within his heart, like a nostalgic part that he lacks. In episode 9, Sesshomaru saved Rin, who had fallen into the underworld. In that episode, which scene left an impression on you? Narita, the last scene where Sesshomaru says, "You're all right now." In addition, in episode 9, Sesshomaru's mother appears. What is your impression of her? What do you think mother and son have in common, and in what way are they different? Narita, that coldness, indifference. She also had a comical aspect which I did not expect. Regarding the fussy Jokin, what do you think is the reason Sesshomaru moves with him despite everything? Narita, I think it's because it can't be helped, like someday he might be useful for something. Jokin has a lot of funny lines. If there is a line that left a lasting impression on you, please tell us. Narita, there's so many that I can't just say one. The amount of people that Sesshomaru has connections with is gradually increasing. What sort of growth do you think he will achieve going forward? Narita, I wish that Sesshomaru himself never changes. I want him to maintain his sublime aloofness. In addition to giving the fans a message, please tell us how you will prepare to act Sesshomaru in the second half of the series. Narita, thank you for always supporting me. In my mind, he has not changed. Any sort of love or kindness has nothing to do with his solitary world. Even if he becomes able to understand the hearts of humans, his heart will never be like others. Please continue to watch over us. Our beloved Sesshomaru? From the point of view of InuYasha's party, Sesshomaru is unsociable and completely does his own thing, but to Jokin and Rin, his existence is precious. Here we have a special feature regarding the two's love for Lord Sesshomaru. The very powerful Lord Sesshomaru, why someone like him, who has lived his life without relying on anyone, purposefully moving together with Jokin and Rin? If you were to say it, I think it's because the two of them are very cute. At first glance, Jokin is a middle-aged, small demon with an underhanded personality that makes unnecessary comments and lies. However, you truly cannot hate that sense of restlessness. Rin, on the other hand, is a genuinely cute girl. Sesshomaru listens to their arguments without the slightest change of expression, but in reality, could he perhaps be biting down that amusement in his heart? Finally, the best part about the two of them is their overflowing love for Lord Sesshomaru. Sesshomaru is of the strongest class within the InuYasha world, but when you see the two of them getting close to him, you can't help but think the three of them are having fun in spite of it all. Character bios. Sesshomaru. As an aloof existence, Sesshomaru has lived his life as he pleases. However, the existence of Tesaiga and Tenseiga leads his heart astray. And now to the brothers' showdown. Jaken, a small demon who serves as Sesshomaru's servant. While he makes blatant lies, he's an existence that one can't hate. He does not intend to lose to anyone when it comes to loyalty to Lord Sesshomaru. Rin, a girl who lost her life after being attacked by man-eating wolves, but was revived by Sesshomaru's healing Tenseiga. Innocent and cheerful, she bears a carefree personality. Her special trait is her severe jabs at Jokin's remarks. The one in charge of reactions. The extremely cool Sesshomaru does not break his facial expression easily, no matter what kind of enemy appears or what the enemy says to him. It is there that Jokin fulfills that important role. It is when Jokin is surprised and talks back to the enemy that the conversational exchange between Sesshomaru's party and the enemy begins to proceed. In other words, Jokin is in charge of reactions within Sesshomaru's party. There are times where he unintentionally goes overboard, though. The life that was saved twice. In episode 9, Rin is kidnapped and taken into the underworld. Sesshomaru struggles hard to save Rin, but Tenseiga can only revive a person once. Without the aid of Sesshomaru's mother, Rin would have remained dead. Sesshomaru looks at Rin softly as she slowly opens her eyes. It was a scene that made you wonder what Sesshomaru would do when Rin grows up. You see, the greatest combination within InuYasha is the silliness and jabs of Jokin and Rin. Jokin makes an exaggerated and underhanded remarks, and Rin jabs at them. There are some periodic gags that are sharp within InuYasha the final act, but the combination of these two is superb. For example, in episode 3. Lord Sesshomaru's heart is perfect!
He's strong and kind.
I don't know anything about kindness. After that, there's episode 14 that made the voice actor Jokin, Cho-san, roar with laughter. I'm included with the small people?
Master Jokin, you're small in a lot of ways. Your height, your heart, your personality.
I wonder which dialogue between Jokin and Rin made all of you laugh the most. The role of Jokin. Cho. Episode 15, The Rightful Successor, depicts a fierce battle between InuYasha and Sesshomaru. How was the recording? Cho. It was terrific, especially InuYasha's yelling as there was a high amount of enthusiasm. Jokin appears to be the spokesperson for Sesshomaru's emotions. Sometimes he gets it wrong though. What sort of feelings do you think he has towards Sesshomaru? Cho. Love itself. There's something there that's not just a master-servant relationship. Jokin has many humorous lines, but having acted up to episode 15, which scene left an impression on you? Cho. I love his reaction when Rin told him, Master Jokin, your personality and heart are small. There is silliness and jabs with Rin, and they make a good combo. What is your impression of the dialogues with Noto-san? What is the fun part about acting? Cho. Rin makes some pretty sadistic jabs. Jokin, who's a masochist, is surprisingly happy with them. Jokin sometimes makes obvious lies. It is a refreshing level of falsehood, but why does he do that? Cho. He's childish. What do you think is Jokin's happiness? Cho. Lord Sesshomaru's happiness. In addition to giving the fans a message, please tell us how you will prepare to act Jokin in the second half of the series. Cho. I will play around while focusing. The role of Rin. Noto, Mamiko. Episode 15, The Rightful Successor, depicts a fierce battle between InuYasha and Sesshomaru. How was the recording?
It had a quite intense feeling, and it pulled me deeper into the story.
Episode 9, Rin fell into the underworld and was saved by Sesshomaru. How did you feel seeing Sesshomaru doing his utmost at the time?
I once again felt that Ren was truly precious to Sesshomaru.
Among the Rin scenes up to episode 15, which one left an impression on you?
I like the scene in episode 9 where after she's saved by Sesshomaru, she opened her eyes and said, Lord Sesshomaru, with a feeling of relief. There are a lot of other impressionable scenes, so it's hard to narrow it down.
There is silliness and jabs with Jokin, and they make a good combo. What is your impression of the dialogues with Cho-san? What is the fun part about acting?
Cho-san's Jokin is the best. Just the fact that I can dialogue with him makes me happy. Ren is quite harsh, so acting that part is fun.
What sort of feelings do you think Rin has for Sesshomaru? Also, if Rin becomes an adult as is, how do you think those feelings will change?
It might be a little different from family when she becomes an adult. I can't really imagine it. It would be wonderful if she comes to romantically love him. However, I think her feelings won't change with Rin as she is now.
What do you think is Rin's happiness?
I think it is being together with Sesshomaru and Jokin.
In addition to giving the fans a message, please tell us how you will prepare to act Rin in the second half of the series.
InuYasha, the final act is truly passionate drama. I plan to act with everything I got alongside everyone until the end, so please treat me well.